What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got a little bit of a short one once again, as I'm still not necessarily feeling the best, but we got a Milwaukee Bucks and Chicago Bulls game reaction. Earlier on in the season, we ended up taking a little bit of a piece out of the Milwaukee Bucks on their worst start in a long time, in all honesty. And it looks like they got their piece back, ladies and gentlemen, getting some revenge over the Chicago Bulls and absolutely destroying us in the end with a phenomenal fourth quarter. Or I wouldn't even say it's phenomenal. It was a disaster of a fourth quarter for the Chicago Bulls. Once again, it seems like when we really need this Bulls team to step up defensively, we just let ourselves down, and it's the biggest weakness that we have, and it just feels like it's not getting any better now, is it? But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, and ultimately your thoughts on the game, your player of the game, and I guess what to do from here. We lose the game 122 to 106. Now, you could probably put this down to Giannis having a 41-point near triple-double. You might be able to say that's the reason why the Milwaukee Bucks won the game. And look, of course, every right. Giannis, heck of a player. Everybody knows that. Absolutely cooked us. Everybody knows that. I don't think we had Patrick Williams in this game either. So, you know, the kind of guy that you rely on to stop Giannis. I know there's no stopping Giannis. Don't twist my words here. But the guy that you put on Giannis, the guy that you can hopefully expect him to kind of hold his own in some way, we didn't have. So our team instantly lost a lot of size there. We didn't have anyone that could really step up to Giannis in any sort of way. I know Patrick Williams can't necessarily do that either, but an extra body there is always nice. And Patrick Williams is probably the closest guy that we have at the moment that could stop a Giannis Antetokounmpo, or that can come close to containing a Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nevertheless, we didn't have that guy, so we're relying on Torrey Craig, who in his own right had 15 points in this game and played very well. Still, defensively, we were a massive letdown in this game. And I'm going to say there's no surprises there, but at the end of the day, it still hurts every time. I would view this in the same way I would view the Houston Rockets game. Now, keep in mind, we didn't concede 143 points like we did against Houston, and that was embarrassing. Or even the Cavs game, but the Cavs game was it was a different story if you actually watched it. The way that I viewed it, the way that I view it now, is that this Bulls team needs to be within the top 5 every single night offensively if we are going to win games. If we're even going to come close to winning games. You can't have an off night offensively, because this team defensively is too unreliable and I would say borderline weak. It is weak. It is piss poor, it is weak, it is almost non-existent, our defensive play sometimes. From the starting lineup, I know the bench is capable defensively, but the bench in and of itself can't do everything on the defensive end. The starters have to take some responsibility there, and we're just not cutting it. We're not cutting it at all. Now, let's take you back to last season, because last season, I know we had Caruso, so things definitely changed there. We were actually not a bad defensive team last season. But even offensively, when you had an off night, you could rely on a guy like DeMar DeRozan to carry you out of it. You could rely on some isolation plays if need be. I'm not promoting isolation here whatsoever, because I actually do like how the Bulls offense goes on a normal day. But at least when the offense wasn't clicking, you had someone that could bail you out. We don't necessarily have that guy. When our offense isn't clicking, I know Levine had 27 points, but I don't think you have that one guy that could carry you out of it based on pure, I guess, excellence, like DeMar DeRozan could have done. So you need your offense to be top-notch each and every single game. You can't have a night off offensively. So the Bulls need to find a way, when their offense is not clicking, to win games. So far, the defensive end clearly isn't the way to do it. So that's kind of where we are stuck on at the moment. That's kind of why we won't be a good team this season. It's because when our offense doesn't click, our defense can't support it. And when our defense can't support it, you see 122 points drop to the Bucks. You see pretty much every game that we lose, we're conceding 120, 130, and sometimes 140 points. It's just the way that it is at the moment. And we just can't support ourselves in that way. And that is why we will be inconsistent this season. That is why I think we're starting to learn now that our defense, I don't think personally is going to recover that well. I know it's still early. Maybe we could turn it around defensively, but I don't personally think we will at this point in time. I think there's enough evidence there at this point to show defensively we're just going to be awful this season. And a lot of people predicted that coming in, but you always had hopes that things can be an unexpected, an unexpected event can occur. Maybe defensive coaching could be the difference. I mean, Tom Thibodeau seems to make all these unreliable defenders work over there in New York, so maybe you thought that could have happened here. It just hasn't happened. And we're not buying in defensively. We're definitely not trying defensively, at least not to the extent that I expect from this Bulls team. And then you have nights like tonight offensively, it really starts to show because only one person dropped into the 20-plus figure range. Torrey Craig had 15. Vucevic with a very low 14 points for his standards this season. Kobe White only 14. Dalen Terry had 10. So a couple of guys in double figures, sure, but not necessarily enough firepower. Everything starts to get exposed. So let's just say the Houston Rockets game, not the Houston Rockets game, the Detroit Pistons game, for example. I'm still a little bit sick, so I'm sorry. Things are a little bit scrambling over here. Defensively, I don't think we're that good against Detroit, but our offense changed the game. Our offense was spectacular. Our offense was immaculate. It was great. It wasn't the best we've ever seen, but it was pretty good against a very competitive Detroit Pistons team. And because of that, the defensive liabilities, as big as they were, and as much as they probably were shown, were also hidden because of how good our offense is. It's as simple as that. That is where that's where we are right now as a team. Offensively, if we don't show up, you're going to see the biggest Bulls exposed ever. You're going to see everything exposed defensively. When the Bulls offense shows up, you might start to see those weaknesses hidden a little bit. So, yeah, we need to take steps to become a better defensive team. As long as we're giving up 120 points in almost every single game, we will lose, we will fall. We've already fallen, I believe, to 10th in the Eastern Conference at the moment, and I think it will get worse if you don't fix what is our issues defensively. For some, that's not a bad thing. We want to lose for a lot of people. For others, as much as we want to lose in competitive ways, we want to lose in fun ways. We also want to lose battling. And sometimes I put that into question, like this game against the Bucks, like the Rockets game, like the Cavs game. We gave up in the end in the Cavs game. That's not falling on your sword. That's not falling really battling, if you know what I mean. And there are many other game examples there as well, like the Thunder game. I think the Dallas game. There's many examples of this where the Bulls they kind of die not trying. They give up. They wave the white flag. They want to go home. They want to forfeit in many ways. It feels like they don't want to be there. I wouldn't necessarily say this is the game where it felt like that because we were closer to the fourth quarter and 16 points is a disaster. But there are examples of it, and I think today just shows how bad we are defensively once more. That's all I've got to say. 8 minutes. My player of the game is Zach LaVine. I just personally felt like there was nobody else to choose from. Zach LaVine had 27 points. I'm not sure his efficiency. I don't know his plus minus. But when I look at 27 points on the stat sheet and I see what Zach LaVine can do for the Bulls, especially in a game like today where we need a scoring, I think he's the only one that stepped up to the plate. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Am I being too harsh on the Chicago Bulls? Am I not seeing something? Maybe I'm not watching the games intensely enough. I need these things to be addressed because the way that I see it, it's following a very similar formula. And it's a formula that we don't want to see repeated each and every single time, but that's exactly what we're getting, a repeated formula each and every single time. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know, because I very much could be wrong. But yeah, until we fix what we need to fix defensively, you should expect to see performances like this all the time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next game reaction. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better over the next couple of days and start to get that excitement back in making videos, because this does feel a little bit like a hassle these days, at least because I'm ill. Not necessarily because I don't want to do it, I'm just ill. And as much as I want to do it, I physically don't think I can do it. You know what I mean? Mix and match, we'll see. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.